Are you guys excited for the next panel? Okay, let's get some noise up for the next panel. Are you guys excited for the next conversation? You can do better than that. Let's get excited. I know it's the afternoon. We want to get pumped. Okay, so what's exciting about Miami and South Florida is that Miami Tech is really here to stay. If Emerge Americas 2022 is not evidence that Miami Tech is on fire, I don't know what is. Our next conversation is one that I am super excited about, and I know I keep saying I'm excited about everything, but the quality is just great. We're gonna talk about what's next for the South Florida tech ecosystem, what it's gonna be like 5, 10, maybe even 15 years from now, from folks who have built and invested in many ecosystems across the country. So let's welcome Wayne Thompson, who is the Executive Vice President of Technology and Products at Hotwire. Next, we have Lisa Shim. Yes, let's give it up for Wayne. Next, we have Lisa Shim, who is the Senior Executive Vice President and Head of Consumer and Small Business Banking at BankUnited. Welcome, Lisa. This should be a competition to cheer. Then we need to welcome my friend, Chester Ng, who is the General Partner at Atomic. And last but not least, who is moderating our conversation, we have Mariano Amartino, who works with Microsoft for Startups as the Managing Director of the Americas. Please give this panel a round of applause. It's gonna be great. Thank you all.
Hey everyone, welcome and thanks for being here. It's so hard to follow up on an amazing panel. The idea of this panel is to talk about Miami 2.0 and what we are seeing for this amazing city. But first of all, it would be super nice for us to make a brief intro round. Wayne.
Wayne Thompson, Executive Vice President of Technology, Product, and Service Delivery at Hotwire. Just to tell you a little bit about Hotwire. Hotwire is a telecommunications company. We offer voice, video, and high-speed data services. We have been a pioneer, we've been a leader, we've been an innovator over the last 20 years of fiber to the home technology. We own an all-fiber network. We have an extremely robust fiber infrastructure that is right here in South Florida, which is where we're headquarters. We deliver some of the best products on the market, including being rated the highest speed, bandwidth speed, ISP, for businesses anywhere in the country. In addition to that, we continue to develop and innovate new products and solutions for our customers, and our customers include anything from a development, a business, it includes municipalities. We are here for our community. We are here to deliver innovation. We're here to deliver infrastructure to ensure that businesses continue to grow and prosper right here in South Florida. One of the things that we are so impressed with and is part of what we do is the charitable part of what we do. We own an organization called Empowering Communities, which seek to help to bridge the digital divide by offering internet services to communities that are underserved. And we'll talk a little bit about that, some of the different things that we're doing in South Florida to ensure that we have an ecosystem that is ready for the boom that we're seeing from a tech perspective.
Great.
Awesome.
Lisa?
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lisa Shim. I run consumer and small business banking for BankUnited. BankUnited is a regional commercial bank. We're headquartered right here in Miami, in the town of Miami Lakes. And we've got offices and branches across Florida as well as in New York, and we're happy to be here.
Chester.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chester. I'm a general partner at Atomic. We're a venture studio. What that means is we have a fund that we use exclusively to start and build companies from the ground up. We've been in Miami for a couple years now. We're all in on Miami as our new home. We start companies, we build them from the ground up in industries including healthcare, companies like Hims and Hers, which we took public last year, companies like Found, which is a leading telehealth weight care company, enterprise companies like Replicant and Terminal, prop tech companies like Bungalow and Homebound, and even local Miami companies like Open Store, which we co-founded about a year ago with Keith Raboy at Founders Fund. We're really excited to be here in Miami. It's been a tremendous opportunity for us and our firm, and happy to chat more about it today.
Great, and my name is Mariano Amartino. I run Microsoft for Startups, which is the interface that we have between Microsoft and startup ecosystem. And even when Microsoft has been in South Florida for the last 20, 25 years, only last fall we announced that we are moving to 830 Brickell. So we will be part of Miami, formally part of Miami after 25 years on the region. And the idea is, one of the strengths of Miami is we will be uniting not only different businesses, but also we will be uniting local organizations with Latin America, where we host 28 offices around 20 countries in LATAM. So that's one of the reasons why we are so bullish about Miami. So thanks everyone for the intro. And I will start with a simple question. It's anyone a local or a native of Miami? None of us, right? No. I'm from Argentina. You are from San Francisco, California.
New York.
New York, California.
I did spend time in New York, but born and raised in California.
So it's super interesting. I've never been in Miami in an event with people that it's fully local. You know, it's incredible. So the first question is, how was the decision made to move to Miami? What was your rationale behind moving to Miami, and how welcoming was the local ecosystem with you? And it's an open question. Everyone can make it conversational if you want.
Maybe I'll go first because I'm the oldest here amongst the group. I came to Florida 3 years ago. I've been with BankUnited for 13 years, and but I was based in New York and flying down to Miami every week. And it just got to a place where we're like, we've got to make a decision whether we stick it and stay in Miami and BankUnited or divert paths. And we made the decision to move, and in large part because Miami is such a welcoming community. It's, you know, from not just banking, but all sectors, the business community really welcomes you. And I think it's because a lot of us are transient. A lot of us have come from different cities and countries. And so it's part of the culture of when you're newly entering into this, you know, city, that people come with arms wide open and really introduce you to the ins and outs of the city. So when we made the choice 3 years ago, we had no idea that COVID was going to hit. Better lucky than smart, as they say. But we're super glad that we're here.
Great.
Well, for us, or for me, first it was the company. The company, Hotwire, was just a tremendous opportunity. It's just one that you couldn't pass up. But as you continue to explore what Miami and South Florida had to offer, and the environment that it offered in terms of tech, in terms of culture, in terms of family life, it was just something that you couldn't pass up. And I will say Hotwire has done a tremendous job of kind of rolling out the red carpet for individuals like me to want to leave New York to come down here. But once you're here, you find an ecosystem that is just as vibrant as anywhere else in the country, maybe even more so. And it's just a welcoming sight. And for a person like me who's in tech, having a tech ecosystem that's already established and growing was just an attractive thing that you could not just pass up.
So I'm definitely not a local. I'm really new here, 9 months in. The dead giveaway was Mariano surprised me as we were walking on stage, and he told me that we're going to do this entire panel in Spanish. So I totally freaked out because my Spanish is like first grade Spanish. So I'm very new to Miami. We, as a firm, planted a flag about 2 years ago when my partner and the founder of Atomic, Jack Abraham, moved here during the pandemic. We always had aspirations to open a East Coast HQ2 to really open up access to talent and capital, which are really the drivers for our model. We always thought it was going to be New York, and then the pandemic happened, everything changed. We decided it was going to be Miami, and we've never regretted that since. So yeah, it's been about 2 years for Atomic. We're based in Wynwood, right across from Panther Coffee. Please come by and visit. But definitely not a local by any means, and look forward to learning from a lot of you locals and natives and true Miami OGs.
And as a follow-up on this, what kind of impact can we as expats, I'm calling myself an expat. Actually, I'm the only expat because I'm from Argentina. But as an expat, what kind of impact do you think we can drive to this ecosystem? Something specific that we can help bringing in?
I mean, for us, we're in the business of starting companies, 0 to 1 company creation. We're pulling together the best ideas, the best talent, and capital and resources, and we're creating companies from the ground up. So for us, what we wake up getting excited about and go to sleep getting excited about is just starting new companies here locally in Miami, creating jobs, creating opportunities, bringing kind of new opportunities to the doorstep of amazing talent and amazing people here in Miami, and we're inspired by the energy and the diversity here of talent and opportunity.
Yeah, I think for us, BankUnited has been here for decades, and I think what's important for us, and we're in the business of relationship banking, so connecting clients with sponsors, with VC, I think it's super important when we have those ties and creating the impact that way, and just being strong connectors. I think is super important, especially for those who have just come here and are really trying to break into the Miami scene. Having bankers who have been here on the street for a while, understand the roads and the pathway, it really helps. And so I think from that perspective, we provide a lot of value.
And from our perspective, it's really, we're a growing company, and we're growing right here. And what we want to do is make sure that we harvest as much local talent as possible. But we're also having all fiber infrastructure that we want to continue to grow. When we look at what the future is going to look like for the next 10, 20 years, the fiber infrastructure, the underlying infrastructure is going to be a key part of that. So we want to continue to build an extremely robust, redundant, secure network that is going to continue to fuel this already charged tech ecosystem that already exists. So what we're looking to do is to continue to grow on that legacy that we already have built here, build bigger, better network, more secure network to continue to drive more and more companies to want to move here, to see the attractiveness of what a Miami and a South Florida has to offer, especially with the ecosystem already put in place from a fiber infrastructure standpoint.
It's interesting that I keep hearing talent, infra, and obviously capital. We have capital of the Miami wanting to be the capital of capital as a grito de guerra. See, I put some Spanish words here.
I have no idea what you just said.
It's a grito de guerra. It's so easy. I mean, it's Lisa, did you get it?
Un poquito.
Muy bien. That's nice. That's nice.
I could have said it.
No, but it's the tagline that Mayor Suarez is trying to promote the city with. So we are talking a lot about how financial institutions, VCs, private equity firms, etc., are moving. Do you think that that's enough, attracting capital, or do we need first getting capital to the ecosystem and then expanding into the infra needed to grow and the talent to keep the companies that, for instance, the companies that you build with local talent to really grow as an ecosystem?
No, it's not enough. I mean,
okay.
I think it's an admirable tagline, and I'm a big fan of Mayor Suarez, and I mean, he's done a tremendous job bringing capital here, but capital is like less than half the battle in my opinion. I mean, all the capital in the world can be here in Miami, but if we don't have builders here, the capital is going to be deployed outside of Miami. That's what's going to happen. And so I think the biggest unlock for Miami is going to be really increasing the amount of entrepreneurial talent, engineering talent, operator talent here, both homegrown talent from the local universities, but also continuing to import more expats, as you put it, into the region. So I think it's a dual kind of pronged strategy and opportunity around capital and talent, but they both have to happen.
And talking about talent, how can we, what do you think it should be done to increase or to keep the flow or the pipeline of local talent? Because even when you are importing talent, you are competing with a lot of ecosystems. You know, I mean, we were talking backstage on competing against Bay Area, or we were talking about competing with talent from different countries. Okay, what do you think it should be done?
Well, I could tell you one of the things that we're doing at Hotwire is that we have partnerships with local colleges. So we have like a partnership with Broward College, and it's a 60-week earn as you learn IT apprenticeship program. And what it does, it gives these young people an opportunity to work in our field, get an understanding while they're going to school and while they're earning. And this creates almost a pipeline, so when they graduate, they have some place that they can go work. But what it does for us, it also brings in talent that already have an understanding of our industry. So from a training standpoint, it lowers our barrier and our cost of entry. Plus it also gives them a leadership, they're coming in ready with some leadership skills and understanding our culture. So it takes less time to get them up to speed. So we need to continue to ensure that, one, we have a robust university, college, and technical school system, but then two, that we as companies are partnering with those institutions to continue to develop talent and let them know what's here. They don't have to go someplace else, but it's here, and create that pipeline for them to be able to enter into our companies.
Yeah.
Lisa?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Corporations need to, participate in what's happening here by feeding into and providing resources for universities to create this pipeline of talent that, much of the major tech hubs have done and done well. And, talent, the competition for talent is fierce. And I think we'll be in a moment if we only take opportunities of what's happening now with everybody influx, or the influx of people coming into Miami. What will sustain it is if we establish strong corporate university relationships, strong feeder pipelines. At BankUnited, I can share a little bit about what we're doing. We're partnering with FIU, Miami-Dade College, for mentorship and internship programs. And these are not just for technology, but banking related careers as well, so that we give people who want to have access the ability to explore these types of careers. It's a long game, I think we've all been here for less than a year, a couple of years, and we have to recognize that the seeds that we plant now may have fruit, but it's going to take years of continuing to invest and co-invest to make this fruitful.
Yeah, we're so obsessed with talent pipelines at Atomic. It's pretty much all we talk about all the time because we are in the talent business. I think some of the things we're trying to do here. We launched a little over a year ago a program called the Future Founder Program. The hypothesis was that entrepreneurship is a bit of a black box. You kind of have to know someone that knows someone. You gotta, kind of have to know what you're doing or kind of pretend you know what you're doing. And it's hard. It's hard to get started when you want to get started starting companies. And so we decided to launch this program that basically was open for anyone to apply to start and build a company with us. We didn't know how it was going to go. We just, put up a website and sent a couple tweets. And in the first year, we had 1,500 applicants from all over the world apply to build companies with us. And so we were blown away. We decided to double down on this. And this week, we actually are hosting our first ever Future Founders Summit, which we called for applications a few weeks ago, and for 50 spots to come basically hang out on the beach and talk company building with us. And we were overwhelmed. We had 800 applicants. We're trying to figure out how to fit, 75 people into a 50-person venue on Thursday. And we're just trying to open up access to entrepreneurship. And I think that is, one thing we can do in Miami that will really move the needle in terms of opportunity and talent here.
Yeah, one of the things that are surprising me is the amount of work that some VCs or some investors are doing with universities and communities. For instance, your initiative, the SoftBank Operator School, that is trying to create the middle management for startups that are growing, and even the work that we as Microsoft for Startups are doing on specific technical upskilling. Do you think that, if this panel is talking about the next 5-10 years, do you think that at a point we will have a Miami mafia as in the, because once you stay here, you suddenly, I've been in San Francisco last week. I have seen the sun like 20 minutes in the full week, and I was like, I want to go back to Miami, okay? But that's not enough. Do you think that we will be able, or what should we be doing to being able to retain this talent that we are attracting?
Well, retaining talent, first you need to identify the talent and pay them. But this part of this goes back to the infrastructure question you asked before, or the capital of capital question you asked before, if that's enough. The reason why that's not enough is because you could have all the influx of capital you want, but if you don't have your transportation system in place, if you don't have a robust university schooling system, feeder system in place, if you don't have your housing in place, you're gonna then start to lose that talent that you have. Because even if you develop the talent here, but they cannot afford to live here, they'll just go someplace else. So it's an entire ecosystem that has to be developed. You need capital, you need infrastructure, you need housing. It's a whole ecosystem, and we cannot look at it as just one piece. We have to look at the whole pie and try to address the whole pie. So if we're looking to retain talent here for the next 5, 10, 15 years and not have them go someplace else, we need to make sure we're addressing some of the other social issues that also comes with this expansion that we're seeing. And that's the piece we cannot lose sight of.
Lisa?
The affordable housing, yes. I think the affordable housing issue is a real one. It was real before the pandemic, and I think it's been exacerbated more so during the pandemic. So I do think that that's a real issue that needs to be resolved, because you've got a bunch of people who are entry level coming into Miami wanting to live in the hip neighborhoods of Wynwood or Midtown, Edgewater. You'll get priced out, and you need to provide solutions for that in order for people to want to stay and be a part of the community. So I do believe that with Wayne that's a huge issue that we need to solve.
Yeah, I think of Miami as a startup, Miami Tech as a startup itself. Kind of a Series A startup, if I had to really grade it or characterize it. Really strong product market fit, but substantial scaling challenges and opportunities. I think the infrastructure issues that you both lay out are kind of top of mind, and I think we're all feeling it. I'm only 9 months in and feeling it, so I kind of didn't know what Miami 1.0 was like because I only came for 2.0. But I have to imagine it's pretty challenging, and I think that that's the other part of the equation around capital, the capital of capital.
Yeah.
But to your mafia question, I'm hopeful there will be mafias that form here in terms of successful builders and operators and founders that come out of successful companies and then start their companies here, and then kind of have that family tree effect, like the PayPal mafia, notably in the Bay Area. So I am hopeful that will happen here.
Interesting. One issue that pops in my mind is, after listening all of this, is what do you think about underrepresented minorities? Miami is very special in their demographics, right? So do you have any take on underrepresented minorities and how to work with, I'm a Latino, but I'm not sure. In San Francisco, I'm a minority. Here I am not. Well, maybe. I'm from Argentina. We are humble and all that stuff. So But I am not a minority here, clearly. So any thought or take on how to working with underrepresented minority founders here in Miami, or it's mostly the same like?
Yeah, I think one of the most exciting aspects about Miami is I think it's the only major city that's greater than 50% foreign born. I think it's 58% foreign born, and so it's incredibly diverse, incredibly international. I think it has the right kind of fundamental elements to enable us to create more opportunities for people from underrepresented backgrounds. And I think it has all the right building blocks. I was speaking with Leanne, who introduced us right before this panel, and her efforts with the tech equity initiative that she's driving, I think, is just a great example of what can be done here. And so again, for us, it's all about just starting and building companies and co-founding companies with folks from any type of background. And so that's kind of the approach we're going to take.
Yeah, I think it's also about showing, and for me, I'm passionate about women in tech. I think that there's a huge gap there that, we're slowly getting better, but there's still a lot of work to be done. But a lot of it is just exposing them to the art of the possible, to say like, this could be your future. And at BankUnited, we do that as well with a partnership with FIU. We actually just completed a Women in STEM type of series where we take women who are interested in the field and expose them to what does it mean to be a day in the life and data scientist or a developer or engineer, and giving them the dream and the art of the possible. And I think we need to continue to do that. That's like our small contribution, but I think as all of us in the room and all of us here participate, I think it becomes more and more normalized and a great way for us to bridge that gap.
Yeah, and our company is a woman-owned company. Our company was started by women. And an incredible mentor and teacher. And we have a policy in our company that we want to get to at least 50% of our staff be women within our company by 2025. And as a technology engineering company, that's actually a hard task to do. However, we are committed to making sure that this happens. And we're making sure that we have minorities represented in our boardroom. But even going further, you were talking about founders and capital for founders. One of the things that, as we go into this next phase of what Miami is, it's underrepresented communities. One of the hardest things that they struggle with is being able to find capital. And even when they find the capital, they don't necessarily have the right way of accessing that capital. So I think one of the broader things we need to talk about is how to make that capital more accessible to underrepresented societies. Because what happens is the capital may be there, but it's not necessarily easily accessible. Or to even access it, it's such a struggle just to get it because they're not necessarily structured the way how a typical tech company may be structured. So the conversation, I think, just needs to be a little bit broader about the accessibility of that capital for underrepresented communities.
It's super interesting what you said. And I have part of my team over there that we were working on getting more female founders into our programs and into our, we have a fund that is called M12, and we invest in female founders. But what we realized is that we were supporting a lot of female founders, events, organizations, but double clicking on that, what we realized was the fact that we didn't find a lot of female investors, female GPs, LPs, whatever. Have you seen something like this in this ecosystem, or still not? The presence of female investors.
Still a ton of work to be done. At Atomic, we're 49% female of our 55-person team. We're trying to do our part and chip away. And within our portfolio, some of the most successful companies are led by female founders. But yeah, generally in the industry, it is a huge challenge, I think. And I think to Lisa's point, there are great opportunities though around programs that you can develop and networks you can build. So yeah, we definitely see the challenge and want to take it on head on.
Great. And one other question that is jumping to the statistic about 50% of people is an expat. What would you say that the banking system it's easier, or is it friendly to foreign entrepreneurs or startups that are moving and incorporating here? Is it something that BankUnited is doing to help startups move faster or easier to the States?
Yeah, I think, Miami being where it is located, it's the natural portal for companies who are, whether they're US based and want to expand into LATAM or vice versa. So we're definitely seeing an influx of LATAM startups, entrepreneurs wanting to come here and looking for capital. And I think, BankUnited and the banking industry in general is very open, right, to the startup community and helping to bridge. I go back to that relationship banking, where that entrepreneur is within that life cycle, right? And so creating that ecosystem between venture capitalists, sponsors, financial institutions to make sure that when they come in and when they decide we want to root here in the States, that there is a capital community around them. I think that's super important, and we're definitely a part of it. And I think Miami is inherently unique because we are able to bridge the gap and serve as that portal, so to speak, between LATAM and the States.
Great. And last question. We have 10 seconds. Miami Tech Life, Miami whatever. What do you think about the branding of the city? I mean, do you think, will it sustain for the next 5 years? Should we do something to differentiate ourselves from other ecosystems? Should we promote something else besides what we are promoting? For instance, taxes. I don't know. I mean, I love taxes here. Yeah. Let me be honest. Oh, I hope none of my bosses is here. But should we be promoting something else? What else would you be promoting?
I mean, I think the biggest opportunity from a branding perspective is Miami's a great place for families. People don't know that, actually. I think pretty underrated. I mean, I have 2 little girls, and I had to make a decision, about a year ago, and it was a much more complicated decision than my single friends without kids. Have no regrets, and so I think that's the biggest opportunity from a branding perspective to make sure everybody knows that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that is a good one, because I mean, being from New York, I'm like, it definitely was a lifestyle change. And again, I think because we were in that stage where we were like, we want to build family, we want to build community, and also it's nice. We have people who are hungry here, but we're also just generally nice people who want to help each other out. And I think the culture and being able to showcase the culture is something that's super important, because it's unique to Miami, and being able to showcase that in a meaningful way. And
I'll add to that, it's family. And we should also say that Florida is ranked #1 in high-speed data service, and according to PC Magazine, it's because of Hotwire.
All right.
There you go.
That's a good plug. Respect that.
Mic drop at that moment.
So, Lisa, Chester, Wayne, many thanks for being part of this family. And talking about family, we have Felice here, which is our founding father, part of it. Yeah, come on. Thanks everyone for being here.